6 o'clock. We call the meeting to order. This is the October 18th regular city council meeting. I'd like to ask everyone if they would to turn off their cell phone or silence their cell phone. And if you would, stand and join me in the pledge of flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, mayor's comments. We had a good fair, record attendance, but I'll let Dave Horton comment on that a little later on. Item 3 is consideration, adoption of the agenda. Is there any corrections to the agenda? Amendments? Not, I hear a motion to be adopted as
so
presented.
moved.
Got a motion to have a second? Second. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, for executive session.
Mr. Mayor, we need an executive session related to real estate sale, lease, or acquisition. We request with your permission and that of the council, removing that to the end of the agenda. I do not think it will be a long executive session, but do need it for that purpose. That would be amenable to you and the council.
All right, sir. With the pleasure of the board, we'll make executive session. Item 4, we'll take it down under announcements, make it item 3, the last thing on the agenda before we adjourn.
We need a motion to that.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Thank you very much. Okay, item 5, consider adoption of the following minutes would be the regular council meeting September the 20th. I assume everybody got a copy of the minutes. If no corrections, Chair will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion for approval. Have a second? Second. All, any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, executive session, September the 20th. Hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve them.
Second. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Item 6, Poppy Day, American Legion Auxiliary. I'll read that and ask the ladies if they would to come up. It's Poppy Day proclamation. Whereas America is the land of freedom, preserved and protected willingly and freely by citizen soldiers. And whereas millions who have answered the call to arms have died on the field of battle. And whereas a nation at peace must be reminded of the price of war and the debt owed to those who died in the wars. And whereas the red poppy has always designated as a symbol of sacrifice of lives in all wars. And whereas the American Legion Auxiliary has pledged to remind America annually of the debt through the distribution of the memorial flower. Therefore, H. Ford Gravitt, Mayor of the City of Cumming, and the Cumming City Council of Forsyth County, Georgia, do hereby proclaim November the 12th, 2016 as Poppy Day in Cumming, Georgia, and ask that all citizens pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom by wearing the memorial poppy on this day, in witness whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Cumming to be affixed this 18th day of October, 2016. I can't be sure. Signed, H. Ford Gravitt, Mayor of the City of Cumming. So I ask the ladies, if y'all would, to come up, the auxiliary, all the members, and all the council come up and grace this proclamation. you all very much. We appreciate what y'all do.
Thank you, appreciate it. I'm gonna own my puppy.
Item 7, old business, there being none. Item 8, new business administration, the GMRC sponsorship. If you'll notice in your package, you have a letter from the GMRDC, and they're requesting sponsorship of their annual, they have an annual dinner every year, and this year, I think it's in December, maybe December the 2nd. And the minimum sponsorship is like $250. If you notice your packet from the Georgia Mountain Regional Commission. The city has always participated in that, and I'd recommend that the board continue to participate. And what it is, during the dinner, they have a video that highlights your city or business in your city and whatever. And each one that wants to participate, and like I said, the city has always participated, but each business would participate. Their business would be highlighted during the dinner on the video, and it just keeps scrolling over and over during the period of time. And this program starts, the event starts at 4:45, and usually, it's a social event till 6 o'clock, and this is held at the Dillard House in Dillard, Georgia, and that's about an hour and a half away, depending on the traffic. So any of you that would like to go to that function can put their request in to Gerald or Steve or Crystal, and they'll make reservations for you. But what's at stake right now? Does the city want to continue to participate with the support of RDC?
I think we should. I make a move that we
Okay.
do our usual support.
Have a motion
parties.
from Linda. I have a second. Second from Quincy. Any discussion? Any questions? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, item 2 is the air conditioning unit for this chambers and this floor, really the third floor. Usually the air conditioning and heating units last about 15 years, and we dedicated this building October the 15th, which was October the 15th, last Saturday in 2002. So we're 14-year-old, and the air conditioning and the heating unit is having issues and problems, and so it's time for replacement, and we've got bids on that. Steve Bennett is going to present his recommendation to you. Steve?
Yes, sir. As you said, we started having some issues with the unit itself, and we got a couple of bids that were in. One was from Eddie's Refrigeration, and it was for just replacing the unit only. One thing you have to do with this new unit is that it's got to be reprogrammed and rewired into the computer system here in the building to work, because it's a different type unit. Eddie's does not do the control work. The other one we had was from a company that would do them both, but their unit price was much higher than Eddie's was. So what we've done is ask them both if they would split that bid, and Eddie's Refrigeration furnish the unit and install it, and then CCI would do the controls. That's the way this worked out. Coincidentally, the rest of the building, that's the way we work. We have Eddie's Refrigeration who did not put in these original units, but they do maintain them for us, and we've got CCI controls that rewired the whole building to control them off the computer. So we're recommending that we go with Eddie's Refrigeration for the unit itself, and then CCI to match it up with the controls to tie it back into our computer system here in the building.
Okay, anybody have any questions? In other words, Eddie's Refrigeration was the cheapest, $41,850. And all the controls and the zone is like $4,680. If you put all of that together, which CCI did, their total cost was $48,500, which is more expensive than the city dealing with the two different contractors. I think we're talking about a unit that's about the size of an automobile that sits on top of this building, and it takes a big crane to put it on there.
Yes, sir, and this price from Eddie's Refrigeration includes the cost of the crane.
Oh, is that, okay.
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay. All right, that's the total package
That's
then.
total package, yes, sir.
All right. What's the pleasure of the board? This will come out of the reserve because we didn't put this in the budget. I don't believe it was in the budget.
No, we didn't, sir, but we've looked and we have some, y'all have some in the reserves to do it. And our thoughts were during this fall time of the year would be a good time when the temperature gets to the point where you don't require heating or air. It'd be a good time to change it out because there'll be a few days when there's nothing in this room here. So that's why we suggested doing it now.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to trade with Eddie's Refrigeration, get the job done.
Okay, and you also want to stipulate that the controls also be included with that?
The whole-
Okay,
the whole
for
package.
CCI was $4,600. Okay, have a motion to have a second? Second. In discussion, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, thank you very much. Okay, contract for the Playhouse Management, Dana?
Mayor, I believe we skipped the consideration of cost of living salary increase.
Oh, yeah, I missed that then, okay. Yeah, this is, we have, in our employee system, we have a lot of employees that has gone to school, and the city has, paid for them to go into school, and right now, the pay increase, their annual pay increase, when review for salary increases hadn't kept up with the cost of living. We have employees that's potentially going to leave the city of Cumming and go somewhere else. So I'd like to propose to the council that to try to maintain our current employees, that we give them a 4% salary increase right now, which will be for November and December, and that will cost. And the city has this money, and it won't have to come out of reserve because the city is going to have to do a budget corrective. We've took in more money than we projected to take in, so we've got the money in the general fund. So that's going to cost the city additional $39,291 for the rest of the year to give the employees a cost of living for November and December. And of course, that'll continue on, that'll be their cost, their salary increase. So I'd like to do that with the approval of the board, and start in November.
And do the same thing in January.
Well, in the budget, we'll have a review of all the
Correct.
employees, and that'll be worked out in the budget. So whatever will happen will be in the budget for approval
Correct.
next year.
Right, this will just take care of this year.
I make a move that we give them the 4% cost of living increase. I'm
Okay.
always for an increase in salary.
Okay, I have a motion from Linda that, give the city employees a 4%, salary increase. Have a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, Cumming Playhouse Management Contract, Dana?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, we have a proposal to outsource the management services for the Playhouse for the 2017 calendar year. In your packet is a proposed contract from RWEA Holdings LLC to provide those management services. It also details exactly what that company would be doing during the next year. It's as most contracts that y'all review are familiar with, it's a one-year contract and it's terminable, upon notice by either party, I think within either 30 or 60 days, but in any event, it terminates at the end of the year unless the city chooses to renew it and unless RWEA chooses to renew it. Be glad to answer any questions if y'all have any.
Okay, the council have any questions? Okay, we have a contract before us with the Cumming Playhouse Management, which is RWEA Holdings LLC. Do I hear a motion to
Mr.
approve
Mayor,
the contract?
I should say for the record, it's a contract that has, because I think I need to state this, it's a monthly compensation amount of $3,000
$3,000 a month, that's what it
The
is.
dollar amount needs to be specified, and I didn't say that before. It's $3,000 per month under the terms of the contract.
Contract price for $3,000 a month.
And I interrupted, I apologize.
Okay, that's fine.
I make a motion.
Have a motion from Quincy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. In discussion. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Any opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Dana. Planning and zoning, alcohol license renewal, John? You notice in your package you have a list of all of the 53 stores with alcohol renewal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, as the mayor mentioned, we have 53 licensees that have successfully completed their renewal application and have already paid the city fees for their alcohol license renewals. They've also completed the required background check with the police department. We have one licensee that has yet to turn in his renewal, but we're currently working with that licensee to maybe get him on the November agenda. And we're up to 53 this year. I believe we had 51 last year. 2 or 3 go out of business every year. We were able to bring 2 or 3 new ones in. My recommendation, if it pleases the council, is to renew the listed licensees for the 2017 year.
Okay. You see the list of 53 names. We can, Dana, we can do all this together without having to do it individually.
With one motion, just by adopting.
Okay. Attachment A in your packet, which consists of the 53 names for the alcohol license, which totals $142,900.
Is that-
You've collected that money, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Is that all of them? This is
That's-
everybody?
With the exception of one, we have one that's late, but we're currently working with him, and my understanding is that his intention is to get it in November and renew before the end of the year.
It's great.
What's the difference in the fees? Is it liquor or beer and wine only and stuff
Yes,
like
sir.
that?
Yes, sir. There's differences in fees for, even between a convenience store and a grocery store versus a package store versus consumption or just selling by the package.
Are our fees fairly similar to other jurisdictions?
If not lower, yeah. Or they're fairly similar. They're relatively on par, if not maybe even a little bit lower than other jurisdictions. So, yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a recommendation to approve the 53 stores for alcohol license renewal. This will be for 2017.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion from Quincy. To have a second?
Second.
Second. In discussion. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, John.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council.
Okay, under utilities, request to advertise for bids for Webb Street Water and Sewer. John?
Mayor, members of the city council, we're requesting permission to advertise for bids for the water and sewer infrastructure in the general vicinity of the Webb Street extension. And this would include a 36-inch water line, which is a cross tie between Triple Gap Road and Highway 20. And there's a small portion of gravity sewer also that would be included in this project. So we're requesting permission to advertise for bids and bring you those bid results back at a later council meeting.
Have a request to advertise for bids. I hear a motion.
So moved.
Have a second? In discussion. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, John. Request for condemnation, 302 Triple Gap Road.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of the council, as you're aware, the Webb Street is a city street, and it will be, in essence, an extension of Church Street from Triple Gap Road to Highway 20. And there's a very small piece of property that we need to help with the turning radius for the right-of-way of that road. And it is actually located at, see if I can find the address here, 302 Triple Gap Road. Our right-of-way acquisition specialist is currently working with the property owner, and the negotiations are going well because this project is underway. And, you know, if the negotiations don't go well, we do need the right to go in and to condemn the property. But generally, to give you a track record, we've asked for 5 condemnations in the past few months, and 2 of the 5 we've worked out. Then 2 of the remaining 3 we're hopeful we will work out. And, you know, we try to work these acquisitions out, but sometimes you come up against a brick wall and you have to have the right to condemn the property. So in this case, we hope to work it out and hope to report back to you that we did work it out, but we would like to request the right to condemn this property if necessary.
This gives you an option if
Yes,
you
sir.
can't work it out.
That's true.
Okay, that's what we need. And you make every effort to try to resolve it before condemnation.
Yes, sir, we do.
All right. Any questions? Hear a motion?
Make a motion, we proceed.
Have a motion for Lewis. Have a second?
Second.
Second, Quincy. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Request to advertise for bids, Lanier 400 Parkway Water and Sewer.
Yes, sir. Mayor, council members, that's a typo. The request is really for just a water line. It's not for water and sewer, but we're requesting to install a 12-inch water line from Pilgrim Mill Road up the Lanier 400 Parkway to the property of the new proposed school. And that school, from what I understand from Tim Amerson, the facilities director at the school board, is underway, and they will need water for the mortar and the concrete mixing that's going to be taking place in the next few months. So we're trying to kind of stay a little ahead of them so we can get the water up the hill to the site so that they'll have adequate water.
Need to get water to them as quick as we can then.
Why would you not put sewer at the same time?
Well, sewer
It's already
exists
there.
for
Sewer's already
that
there.
building. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So
Yeah, sewer's already there.
at some later date, we will need to extend that sewer line for the other properties up the parkway, but not until we have some legitimate, interest in that land.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion from Quincy, have a second from Linda. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor,
John.
members of the council.
Okay, under announcements, we have Banks and Shane in concert at the Playhouse at October the 22nd at 3 o'clock and at 8 p.m. Also, Cuby Sisters, they'll be in concert on the 29th of October at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. And the Cuby Sisters is a Texas swing fiddle music and singing band. With that, Dave, you want to bring us up to date a little bit on the fair before we go in executive session?
We just got off of a successful 11 days. We had nearly perfect weather. We just had one day of rain, and we had 7 record days. We had 3 days that were from 100 to 500 of being a record, and then we had the one day of rain, which was off. But our record number this year was 222,007, and that's a pretty lofty number. I was hoping we might break the 200 level, but we got by another 22,000. So we're real pleased with the numbers. We're in the cleanup mode now. We actually have an event, trunk or treat, there this Saturday. And in fact, it's something every weekend until the second week of December. So we've got to get things cleaned up and ready for something else. But I'd like to thank the mayor and council for all their support with the fair, and also their presence at the fair. It's always important, I think, for people to see who's putting this on, and it's great to have you guys out there. Also to Gerald and Steve and all the city employees. It takes a lot of people to put an event this size on, and we had a lot of the city employees that helped out, and also some others within the community that help us. Parking lots, ticket takers, ticket sellers, trash, everything. So we appreciate all the hard work that they do. It makes for long days because they're working all day at their day job and then coming in working all night with us. So I know by the 11 days, it's fun for 11 days, but it's really nice when it's done too, so that they go home to their families. But and also special thanks too to Casey and his staff at the police department. Did an incredible job. A lot of uniform presence there. We got a lot of compliments on the fact that people were saying that they really feel safe there, and the fact that the grounds were kept as clean as we could. So big thanks to Casey and his group for helping with that.
Well, Dave, we want to commend you and your staff, and again, all the employees and everybody that worked at the fair, and also our police department. Their presence all over the fair meant so much, and I heard a lot of people talking about how good they felt about the environment of which they come to the fair. And of course, just smelling of the food and eating some of it was pretty refreshing, once a year. So anyway, we appreciate the job you done down at the fair. So thank
We
you.
got more events coming up. Got tractor show second week of November, barbecue third week of November, and the arts and crafts show the second week of December.
The steam show's when?
The what?
Steam and engine show?
Steam show is second weekend of Friday, Saturday, second weekend of November.
Okay.
Coming up.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, do I hear a motion we recess to go to executive session?
So moved.
Second. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you. I hear a motion we come out of recess.
Second motion.
Second. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Meeting adjourned.